Think your favorite influencer really loves that protein shake, that face cream, or that sketchy crypto coin? Think again. Behind the hashtags and smiles lies a digital jungle of manipulation, money, and blurred lines. Welcome to the dark side of sponsored content, where trust is traded for cash and your attention is the real product. Hey there, Internet fam. Today we're talking about something that's kinda meta, because it's about the very platform we're on right now. See, in today's world, fame doesn't come from Hollywood anymore. It's born on screens, in bedrooms, through reels and stories. Influencers have become the new celebrities, micro, macro, or mega, and brands love them. Why? Because you, the viewer, trust them. You feel like you know them. This new age economy isn't about flashy billboards or Super Bowl ads, it's about subtle nudges, a well-placed product, a recommendation that feels like a friend's advice. But here's the thing. Beneath the surface, there's a transaction happening, and you're not always in on it. Hold up, Internet fam. Let's talk about authenticity for a second. Or at least, the illusion of it. Because that's what sponsored content thrives on. You know the drill, an influencer is chatting away, all smiles and sunshine, casually mentioning how much they love this new protein powder or those super comfy yoga pants. They make it look so natural, so effortless, like they just happened to stumble upon this amazing product and felt compelled to share it with their millions of followers out of the goodness of their heart. But here's the catch. It's all part of the plan. Those seemingly off-the-cuff recommendations, scripted, the candid moments, staged. The goal is to make you feel like you're missing out if you don't have that product in your life. Let's talk about feelings, Internet fam, because that's what this whole influencer marketing thing really boils down to, your emotions. See, brands know that logic and reason are all well and good, but when it comes to getting you to open your wallet, nothing beats a good old-fashioned emotional appeal. And influencers? They've become masters of emotional manipulation. They know how to tug at your heartstrings, trigger your fear of missing out, and make you feel like you need their product to be happy, successful, or just enough. They do this by telling stories. Stories about their struggles, their insecurities, their journey to self-discovery, and then, just when you're feeling all inspired and motivated, they introduce their miracle product, the one that changed their life and can change yours too. But it's important to be aware of the tactics being used, so you can make informed decisions about what you're buying and why. Disguised sponsorships and lack of transparency. Okay, Internet fam, let's play a game. I call it Spot the Sponsored Content. Ready? Here's an influencer lounging by the pool, sipping on a brightly colored drink with the caption, "Living my best life with," insert brand name here, #blessed #grateful #summer vibes. Sponsored content? You bet. But here's the problem. It's not always that obvious. Many influencers bury the truth, hiding sponsorships behind vague captions, using misleading hashtags, or omitting disclosures altogether. They rely on the fact that the average viewer won't question it, or simply won't care. But here's the thing. You deserve to know when you're being sold to. Demand transparency. False authority and expertise. Alright, Internet fam, let's talk about something that really grinds my gears. When influencers become self-proclaimed experts overnight. One minute they're showing off their latest haul of fast fashion, the next they're doling out life advice, fitness routines, or, and this is where it gets really dangerous, medical or financial recommendations. They speak with such confidence, such authority, that it's easy to forget that they're not actually qualified to give this advice. But here's the thing. Just because someone has 1 million followers doesn't make them an expert on anything other than, well, gaining followers. Yet we live in a world where a perfectly lit selfie can somehow equate to a medical degree or years of financial planning experience, and that's a problem, because when we start taking advice from unqualified sources, we put ourselves at risk. We risk our health, our finances, our well-being, so do your research and consult with actual experts. FOMO and manufactured scarcity. Let's talk about FOMO, Internet fam. That feeling of dread that washes over you when you realize you're missing out on something amazing. It's a powerful emotion. And you know who knows how to weaponize it? You guessed it, influencers. They're masters of creating a sense of urgency, of making you feel like you need to buy something right now before it's gone forever. But here's the thing. Scarcity, in the influencer marketing world, is often manufactured. That limited edition product, they've probably got warehouses full of it. So the next time you see a countdown clock ticking away on an influencer's page, take a deep breath. Check one, check. Okay, Internet fam, let's get real for a second. That seemingly effortless product placement in your favorite influencer's latest post? Yeah, it's not so effortless. Behind those perfectly curated Instagram feeds and breezy YouTube videos lies a whole lot of planning, negotiation, and yes, cold hard cash. Because here's the thing, influencer marketing is a business. And like any business, it involves contracts, deliverables, and a whole lot of fine print. Before you see an influencer promoting a product, chances are they've gone through rounds of negotiations with the brand, hammering out the details of the campaign. And let's not forget about the money. Influencers can make anywhere from a few hundred to hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single sponsored post. When trust turns toxic. Let's talk about trust, Internet fam. Because in the world of influencer marketing, trust is everything. Influencers build their careers on the foundation of trust. They cultivate a relationship with their followers based on authenticity, relatability, and shared values. And when done right, that trust can be a powerful force for good. But here's the thing, trust is a fragile thing. And once it's broken, it can be incredibly difficult to rebuild.
Breaking news.
How to spot and defend against manipulation. Alright, Internet fam, we've talked about the dark side of influencer marketing. Now, let's talk about how to protect yourself. Because here's the thing, you're not powerless. You have the ability to see through the BS and make informed decisions about what you buy and who you trust. So, how do you spot manipulation? First, be skeptical. Don't just take an influencer's word for it. Do your own research. Read reviews from multiple sources. Second, look for clear disclosures. If an influencer is promoting a product, they should be upfront about it. Look for hashtags like #ad or #sponsored. Third, be wary of overly enthusiastic endorsements. The future of influence. So, Internet fam, what does the future hold for influencer marketing? Well, one thing's for sure, it's not going anywhere. But it is evolving. As consumers become more savvy and more aware of the tactics being used, influencers and brands are going to have to up their game. We're already seeing a shift towards greater transparency and authenticity. More and more influencers are being upfront about their sponsorships, and brands are starting to realize that consumers are more likely to trust recommendations that feel genuine. We're also seeing a rise in micro-influencers, people with smaller, more engaged followings who are seen as more relatable and trustworthy than their mega-influencer counterparts. Stay savvy, stay informed, you deserve truth, you deserve clarity, and most importantly, you deserve to make your own decisions, not be subtly sold to by someone cashing in on your trust. Awareness is your best defense against manipulation. In this chapter, we will focus on the ethical considerations of influencer marketing. As influencers and brands wield significant power over consumer behavior, it's crucial to examine the responsibilities they have in maintaining transparency and honesty with their audience. Influencers often serve as role models, and their endorsements can significantly impact purchasing decisions. This influence carries a moral obligation to be truthful and clear about sponsored content. Hidden sponsorships or misleading claims can erode trust and harm the integrity of the influencer's relationship with their followers. Brands, on the other hand, must ensure that their collaborations with influencers are ethical and transparent. This includes clear disclosures of sponsored content and avoiding deceptive marketing practices. Brands should also consider the values and authenticity of the influencers they partner with, as these partnerships reflect on their own reputation. Both influencers and brands must navigate the fine line between persuasion and manipulation. Ethical influencer marketing prioritizes the well-being of the audience, fostering genuine connections rather than exploiting them for profit. By upholding ethical standards, influencers and brands can build lasting trust and create a more positive, transparent environment for their audience. As consumers, it's important to support those who prioritize honesty and integrity in their marketing practices. Stay savvy, stay informed, and always question the motivations behind the content you consume. In the concluding chapter, we will provide tips and strategies for consumers to critically evaluate influencer content. We will also highlight the importance of staying informed and making conscious decisions in the digital age. First, always look for clear disclosures. Influencers should openly state when content is sponsored, either through hashtags like #ad or #sponsored, or clear verbal or written statements. If you don't see any disclosure, it might be a red flag. Second, research the influencer's past content. Are they consistent in their messaging, or do they frequently switch their opinions based on sponsorships? Consistency can be a good indicator of authenticity. Third, cross-check the information. Third, don't rely solely on an influencer's recommendation. Look for reviews, testimonials, and other sources to validate the claims being made. Fourth, be aware of emotional manipulation tactics. Influencers often use emotional storytelling and personal anecdotes to create a connection with their audience. While this can be genuine, it can also be a tactic to make you more susceptible to marketing messages. Finally, prioritize your values. Support influencers and brands that align with your personal beliefs and ethics. By doing so, you contribute to a more transparent and honest digital ecosystem. Staying informed and making conscious decisions are crucial in the digital age. As consumers, we hold the power to demand transparency and integrity from the content we consume. Let's use that power wisely. Stay savvy, stay informed, and always question the motivations behind the content you consume.